Okay, I know you wanted this, so here we are. The rap line of BTS, RM, J-Hope, and Suga dropped a hip-hop track recently on their SoundCloud called Dang. It's a song that has Oriental and trap beat at the same time, and it's also a diss track sending messages to their haters. But the wordplay inside it is just amazing. For example, the title Dang itself is used in multiple ways throughout the whole song.
Ilpal, ilsam, sampal,
Ilpal, ilsam, sampal. These are all card combinations that come from a Korean card game called 섰다 or hatu.
잠깐. 굿땡이.
Simply think of them as the best combinations you can get during a game. For example, 3 and 8, which is called 38 광땡, is the ultimate pair that nothing can beat. Thus, the first meaning of dang here would be translated into something like better or invincible. Again in the chorus, the word dang is already used in 2 more different meanings. For these 2 lines, dang is used as the meaning of wrong, which originates from the imitation of the xylophone sound used in quiz shows or auditions when the participant is wrong or bad. For this line, dang is used as the sound of a bell, and it also comes from a children's song called 학교 종이 땡땡땡. Regarding J-Hope mentioning homework in the next verse, there's a very high possibility that this line implies the meaning of go to school, kids.
hip-hop, dang, rap star, dang, young rapper, dang, bang.
The first lines of J-Hope's verse describe the criticism they received in the early ages about their hip-hop or rap style, or BTS being a flop. However, in the next lines, he explains that now they've become a worldwide bang from a dang.
내가 보기에 너네는 땡. 누가 끝발이 좋던 간에 나는 땡전에 상관하네.
It kind of gets trickier in Suga's verse. The usage of dang is suddenly changed without any notice. The first dang indicate the meaning of wrong or no, but when he says 누가 끝발이 좋던 간에, he suddenly jumps into the card game again. Goodbar is an everyday slang word for power/influence. When you see a very successful person, you would say something like 와 끝발 죽이네 or 끝발 날리네. This everyday slang word's origin comes from the card game 섰다 again. Good is a combination of cards equivalent to 1 point to 9 points. It's the most common pairs you will receive during a game. In contrast, a dang is above all goods. So that's what Suga is saying in his last lines. 나는 땡 전혀 상관 안 해. Which means, I'm a 땡 and I don't care about you lower class goods. So one more thing before we go into Arm's verse. Good has the same sound as good. Yeah, and this good means the end. Suga ends his verse by saying 계속 걱정해주길 good. It could be a double translation as continue worrying about us low pointers, losers, and continue worrying about us, the end, I'm out, mic drop. Now personally, RM's part is the apex of this whole song. It's because in one single verse, he uses 7 different usages of dang. The first line, 캐셔 계산 소리 땡, is literally the sound of the cashier opening, which could also imply that he has a lot of money now. And the second line, 어릴 적 좋아함 얼음 땡, is a Korean version of tag. It's when kids run away, they shout 얼음, which is freeze, to get immune from the catcher, and then another survivor can come along and tag the frozen person, saying 땡, which unleashes him from the frozen state. And third, 난 딩동, 넌 땡, means I'm correct and you're wrong. And fourth, 넌 칠끝, 난 땡, is again referenced from the card game. You might be a 7-pointer, but I'm above that tier. Fifth, 라면 먹고 잔 얼굴 땡, comes from the expression 땡땡 부었다. It's a fun way to describe your face is swollen after you've eaten ramen last night. 6. 떨거지들, do your thing. 달바 난니 air thing. RM is now playing with language now. The pronunciation of thing is similar to thang, which is the slang of thing in English. Last but not least, 7th. 니가 쩔어, 멋져, 개얼탱. RM finally uses another similar sound, 탱, to make it rhyme with 땡. 얼탱이 없다 is a slang for 어이가 없다, which means dumbfounded.
어이가 없네.
Phew, so basically I would summarize this song as genius wordplay and rhythmical onomatopoeia. The repetitive dang sound makes the song much more rhythmical and addictive, whereas the various meanings of dang constantly changing throughout the song make it hard for foreigners or average people to understand, but at the same time makes it genius for a rap lyric. We celebrate rather than being a celebrity. This line shows BTS's attitude or mentality of being a celebrity in a nutshell. It's not about being special or enjoying the spotlight. It's about sharing and returning the love they received by celebrating together.
이름값 하는 개구리들 우물 안에 죽기를.
이름값 하는 개구리들 우물 안에 죽기를. This is a reference from a Korean saying called 우물 안 개구리, which means a frog is stuck in a well and he thinks that well is his whole world. Thus, he's very narrow-sighted, and he thinks he's the best inside that small world. 개구리 usually just means frog, but in this case, I think there's a hidden double meaning inside it, saying 개구리다, which is a slang for fucking lame or foul. I think RM is addressing to the haters in Korea who think they're the best with their own lame songs in this small country. He's saying they should die in this small well called Korea without even having the opportunity to see the big world outside, where BTS is now using as a stage. Last but not least, as a director's commentary, I would like to point out the fact that despite this song being a diss track, there is actually no real hate or toxic cursing inside, but rather BTS chooses to play around playfully with the word dang in a teasing manner and swaggering about their current success. For me, this is the point that sets apart this song from all other diss tracks. Low negativity, but comic and satirical high self-esteem.
Saying